Alright, so today I'm going to be explaining to you how to make a successful roleplay server in ERLC. I know that there's a lot of tutorials out there where it's like, oh, just do this, do that. I'm going to be going into specifics and into details about specific things that need to be done for them to be remotely successful. But yeah, I'll be going into specifics about what you need to know and what you need to do to make sure that your server has the best ability to grow and be successful. So, first things first, you need to make a server. I have got servers here that I can use. So we'll use this one here. It's a 4th server of mine. A bunch of mine got deleted because they went inactive, but I had 11 servers, and now I think I've only got like 6. Number 1, you need to make a good name for your server. You need to come up with a name for your server that people will remember, not just normal RP. Like if you go to the listed servers, you'll see ones here that are just border RP and normal RP and president RP and more border RP. And like you'll see a lot of those normal RP, president RP, state of Texas RP. Like it's just not something that people will remember because there's so many and it's so oversaturated. You want to come up with a name that is very good for your server specifically. So I will go into details about how to find a good name for your server in a second here. But this is something that I will point out as well. Upgrade your server to premium, okay? I know it's not cheap. It's 200 Robux to upgrade it to premium, but if you want your server to be successful and you want to grow from it, just make sure it's a premium server, okay? Alright, let me join my server real quick, and then I'll go over the name details for you and how to pick a good name and stuff like that as well, so that people will remember your name, or remember your server's name in terms of, roleplay and stuff like that, in terms of ERLC. If you have a server that has a bad name, people aren't going to remember, or an oversaturated name like normal RP or president RP, it's not going to be successful just because there's so many of them. There's so many people that have got those names and things like that already. So let me go into quick detail here about how to pick a good name. Alright, so when you're picking a name, you got to remember that it will censor certain words because obviously it goes through the Roblox censor system. And if it's a word that they define as inappropriate for anyone who's under the age of 13, then it will censor it. So you have to make sure to be careful with that. So normally it will censor numbers, so if you try to put a number in your thing, it will censor it. Usually, it didn't this time. Normally it will if you try to put numbers in it, but for some reason that didn't. But yeah, you need to be careful with what text you're putting in here and make sure that it is appropriate for people who are under the age of 13. But to pick a good name, you could base it off of where you live. You can base it off of where you're gonna where you want to move, or one of your favorite places in the world, or whatever. If you want, again, not something this is all based off of personal opinion, by the way. This is like a lot of this is based name-wise off my personal experience and personal opinion. But I recommend coming up with something that is more characteristic, if that makes sense. So, I mean, it's completely off topic, but in Minecraft, we have a town called Iridium. So if you want to say Iridium roleplay, you could do that so that it's memorable. Like, people would think Iridium, that's a metal, it's a weird name, but like, it's something memorable, it's something unique, it's something original. And there's like, you could name it after a god if you wanted. Like, you could name it Asmodeus. You could just come up with something super unique, like something original. You could even go into like a random name generator. Like, you could go in here, right? And I mean, this was one for specifically for video games, but there's so many out there that you could do or find, and you could just literally look through all of these and find one that you like. Like, there's so many chances. Like here, Farside, right? Let's see, Farside roleplay, censored. So these are the things that I'm talking about. It censors the most stupid things. All right, I've come up with a very simple name. Okay, Evoside roleplay. So something I figured out with the system in which it censors things that it doesn't recognize in the English dictionary. So Evo is in the dictionary, Inside is in the dictionary, but if you put them together, it will censor it. For some reason, I don't know why, but just keep that in mind. So if you have a cool name you have in mind, like mine was Evoside, you can just separate the two words, and then it will come up with, and then it will let you do it. Anyways, moving on. Evoside roleplay, okay? It's an original name, it's unique, so just keep that in mind. So next, what you want to do, if you want it to be relatively successful and always full, you want to make yourself a Discord server. So you want to go down here on Discord, add a server, and then create my own, alright, for me and my friends. And you can name it whatever you want, so I'll just go with mine here that was Evoside. Alright, make yourself a logo. I don't have one, but you can create your server. Then if you have friends who have experience in creating Discord servers, or you have some extra money around, you can go into websites like Fiverr and stuff like that, and they'll make it for you. And you can make yourself a logo and stuff like that too. But yeah, like, it's something, if you guys want to go into it and you guys want your thing to be successful, if you look at some successful servers, I'll take my friend's one, for example, here. He has Greenland County Roleplay. He's got 500 members at his Discord server. So basically what happens here is that he'll ping in server startup for if he wants people to join up on the server and things like that. And if you have 500, or even 100 members in your Discord server from this, like, those people will see that you're going online and they'll be like, yeah, for sure, let's go ahead and roleplay. Out of those 100 people, you're guaranteed to at least get 15 to 20 people that want to go on. So something you can do as well, if you want to promote your Discord server, you can do that too by doing it in your server description. So if you want to say join the you can't say Discord because it censors it, I believe. Yeah, it censors Discord. So you can just say join the Dizzy and then just do this code. And then what you do to be able to put a Discord code in, because obviously it would censor it normally, you get your Discord code and you just put dashes in between each letter like this, and then put that in your server description. So join the Dizzy code is that. So I just put join the Dizzy and then the code. So you can see that you can put the code in there as long as you have the dashes in between. You do need to be a little bit careful with this because it can censor certain words, but it won't censor this, and it won't censor Dizzy or join the Dizzy or anything like that. It will censor Discord, so keep that in mind. But you can do that, so now every time someone sees this on this server list, they're going to see this, they're going to see your name, they're going to see that, and they click on it, the description will be there where you can see, join the Dizzy, and then this is the code here. Just make sure you set this link to never expire and it has unlimited uses so you don't have to keep changing it. Another good thing to do, and this is a personal one for me, but regenning the code until you have one that's easy to remember. So that if people want to join join into a server or whatever, or join into the server, they can get the code and they can remember it relatively easily. So regenning the code every so often until you, there you go, AFL, that's pretty easy to remember. So this one right here, just do that, and then in your Discord server you can put a little voice channel and you can just name it code, and then that gives you your code up there. Take away the permissions for people to join it, so just go into permissions, add everyone, and then they cannot connect, and then they will never be able to connect this channel, but they'll see the code up there, and it's super easy to remember it that way. And it's just an easy way to be able to make sure that your thing is set up properly and nicely and people can easily remember it. So far we've gone over name, we've gone over make a Discord, put your Discord in the description of it. So let's talk about what you're going to have to actually do while you're in game to make sure that your thing performs the best that it can. The thing that bugs me the most when I'm in other people's private servers is this. Alright? STSs. They are completely pointless. There's no reason for them. There's no need to do it. It's completely pointless. Alright? Never do an STS unless you absolutely have to, because it interrupts a roleplay, it annoys people, they'll end up just leaving, and nobody wants to sit there for 15 minutes while you're going over rules and stuff like that. It's not worth it. Just don't do them, okay? Another thing I will say as well is limit your server messages, because they pop up while people are trying to play the game. So limit that as well. If you want to talk to other mods, use your phone and just call them, or even talk to them on Discord or whatever, but try and limit your server messages because they can be very annoying while you're playing. Another thing to keep in mind as well is make sure that you have your server always set to public and don't have it group locked. Alright? Have it listed and don't have it group locked, because if you have it listed and ungroup locked, as many people as you want can join it, and they'll join the Discord, you'll grow a community and stuff like that, and you'll end up being something like this. Alright, so this is New Orleans Roleplay. They have got a total of 1,202 members, 1,100 apparently, but they have these as well. So you can see here that they have everything set up properly. They have way too many channels, but that's a whole different story. But they have everything in here. They've got 1,200 people, so every time they do a server startup, they're going to get a full server almost instantly because there's so many people there. That is what you can have if you do all of this stuff right. If you do it all properly, then you can 100% have a server like that. Another thing I will say as well is don't have your server strict to the point that you're telling people to change their avatars. I understand that a lot of people like strict roleplays and things like that, but there's a lot of people who will join your server who have got an interesting, for example, take mine right for an example. I have the antlers, the entangled antlers on, and usually sometimes I'll have my dominus on as well. And if you're telling people to take that stuff off, it just there's no point. There's no reason for it. Like, it is a Roblox game. Keep that in mind, that you're literally playing Roblox. You're not playing GTA. You're not playing any sort of like more realistic game. It's Roblox. Let people have their avatars. Let people have their animations, their dances, whatever. Don't be strict on the side of things of like how people should look while they're playing. Of course, be strict on the how people should roleplay. People are fail role-playing. Feel free to kick them and things like that. Moderate heavily on the side of things that actually has to be moderated. But like avatars and stuff like that are just not the way to moderate. Like, don't moderate people's avatars. There's no need for it. It's completely pointless. It's not worth it. All right, hopefully this helped you a little bit. I mean, I know it might not have been the best tutorial out there, but if you guys did find this a little bit helpful and you guys are going to try anything, make sure to let me know in the comment section. If you guys start one and you start a Discord server, let me know in the comment section below as well. I would love to see what you guys have done, with this tutorial. And yeah, have a great day.